Maybe talk a little bit now about implementations and credit unions that are committed to using AI responsibly to meet those financial needs. So they're also learning how to educate and work with the boards, right, in this way. So, Paul, I'd love to ask you, and then Megan, from the credit union perspective, what is the experience in dealing with boards and AI, and how can you really drive that alignment in the C-suite that we're hearing George talk about?
Yeah, and I'll echo what George said. I mean, his comments were describing that, you can't be the CEO of a credit union these days and not be technology, literal, and not be able to understand what's going on with your tech stack and what's going on from a technological perspective. And the same goes with boards, right? When it comes to understanding the technology of the credit union and the cybersecurity and all these other risks that you're facing, as well as deliverables, product offerings, the board needs to be conversant in those things as well. They need to understand it. I love the title of this webinar because there's so much hype about AI. You look at the headlines and AI is going to save the world or AI is going to destroy the world. And of course, the answer is probably somewhere in between, hopefully more on the former side of things. But this is about the future. This is a strategic imperative. We cannot imagine credit unions surviving long into the future if they don't adopt AI in an effective way. It's part of the game now. It's where the future is going to be determined. And so boards need to be a part of that conversation. They can't simply sign off to management and say, hey, just take care of that for us, right? They need to be informed. They need to understand. And so that's part of the work is the CEO, the CIO, the senior management need to be part of the conversation to make sure they are informing their board what is AI adoption for us in the consumer finance space, right? Not necessarily how we're going to draw pretty pictures or, figure out how to polish off our resumes, but really for the applications for consumer finance. The board needs to understand that. They need to be a part of the conversation to set the risk appetite for how we're going to go forward with AI adoption. They need to understand how to set the guardrails and really work in partnership with the senior team on that high level oversight, the understanding of what it is, and really developing a strategic focus around AI adoption for the credit union.
I would agree with what Paul says. I just really believe that the board of directors and CEO need to strategically make this a priority. It does require an investment in staff and resources, but the reality is it cannot be ignored. No more kicking the can down the road, no more cruise control. It has to be a priority. And then I also believe just that the core leaders, the COO, the CFO, the CIO, the CLO, they all need to have an AI strategy to develop a comprehensive strategy. It can't just be the IT team. It cannot just be the CEO or just the board. It has to be a comprehensive strategy. And then from there, just to build out that roadmap, start small and figure out what needs to be done in order to get to the finish line. And I just think credit unions, they got to start small, start simple, but they've got to get started.